the actual.
Just go like fucking, and I'll find it and
Well, I
then
was about
match
to
it.
say, yeah,
Go for it.
We should do a moment where it's like this is the actual start.
No,
3,
we're gonna re-cheers.
2, 1. Well, he's got to have the 3 peaks. It makes it easier.
yeah,
Fine.
yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, dude. It's
Salud.
nice to finally have you into the studio.
Of
nice to
course.
fucking see you again. It's been
a minute.
At least a year, right? At least, maybe.
Not a full year, I don't think. Although before that, it was about a year. So it's been no, because we saw each other for Barbenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which
You're
was
right.
also the last time I smoked weed.
Oh,
And then
that's
today
nice to know
being
that I can
April
get you
20th, I mean it's not being uploaded,
True.
right? But for those of
Not on time, no.
for folks that'll be listening to this in the future, today is 420. Good
So
old
we going 420.
international holiday.
Shout out to Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Mm-hmm. I'm
And-
curious who
And
founded that? Who founded 420?
dude, I've looked into the history of 420, and there's so many different explanations.
Yeah.
So some people are like, "Oh, it was Bob Marley's birthday." It's not Bob Marley's birthday.
No.
If I'm not mistaken.
Definitely not.
Yeah. And then that's what that was the first thing I heard. And then after that I did some research and it was like, "Oh, well 420 was like the after school time. Like we're meeting up at 420 and smoking." And I was like, that sounds probable, but like also kind of dumb.
That's the one that I've heard, and I from what I understand, it was a group of stoners that became very famous that they got off of school and they smoked at 420.
Interesting.
And it can be traced back to like a very specific group of kids who grew up and they were still stoners and they developed like the stoner culture and community.
No shit.
I wouldn't even be surprised if it was like the old, what is that Tony Hawk group?
Okay, the skate group.
Yeah, I forget what they're
Way
called.
back in the day, I don't know.
Yeah, the Bone
played,
Dogs or something like that.
Played Tony Hawk Skate like once on the PS1. It was
Yeah.
super fun, but
Yeah.
I
I mean, it's all Rodney Mullen.
couldn't skate, so I never got into
Do you know about
skating.
Rodney Mullen?
No.
Okay.
Enlighten me.
Rodney Mullen is
a
the
spark.
actual, of course. Rodney Mullen is the actual grandfather of skateboarding. So all the
Okay.
tricks that you see in Tony Hawk Pro Skater,
Okay.
they originate from Rodney Mullen. He's the person that invented the ollie.
No shit.
Yes.
Huh.
He invented the ollie, the kickflip. I think the nollie existed before the ollie. That could be crazy.
Nollie
Yeah.
with an N.
Yes.
What is a nollie?
I think it's a backward ollie.
Okay,
Where
so
you're
an
kicking off.
ollie is
You're kicking
forward.
off. Yeah. You're. Or no,
and
you're
a
kicking.
nollie is
Yeah, or you're kicking
back?
off on the opposite side, on the opposite end of the skateboard. I wasn't a big skateboarder, so I could be talking completely out of my ass.
interesting. I get it though. So like,
Yeah.
ollie is the front side comes
Mhm.
up. A nollie would be the back side comes
Yeah.
up. That's so fucking weird.
Yeah, he also. I mean, a bunch of the tricks that you're familiar with. That's all Rodney Mullen. He's the OG of OGs.
He should have just named one the Mullen or something.
Salud.
Salute.
I mean, every trick that he's got, it's named out. You know, he's named a bunch of most
Fair. Fair.
all of street skate is Rodney Mullen, is the grandfather. I mean, because Tony Hawk was by and large he was a vert skater. He was a big vert guy, but Rodney
Vertical jump,
Mullen,
yes.
huh?
Vertical, as in like the vertical jump.
No,
like
I mean
up?
the
Like the half tube.
yeah,
Or
the
fuck-
tube,
okay.
yeah, the tubes,
Got
and like swimming pools and stuff like that.
Got it.
Whereas Rodney Mullen was, I mean, he learned how to skate, or he developed his craft in his parents' driveway.
Hmm.
So all of the stuff that he could do, he had to do on flat ground.
Which is why it's called street skate.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I mean, if you go back through watching his old videos, he's just a massive, he's insane. I mean, the fact that he's creating the ollie, creating a kickflip,
Actually,
right? Do a
being
kickflip.
the first person that comes off the
Yeah.
ground.
Coming up, it's just
Or
insane.
coming off the ground and flipping your board. It's 360 degrees, correct?
Yep.
Just a heads up, you got an ashtray right there, too.
Oh, I didn't even.
Right
notice
next
that.
to your whiskey.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But
That's crazy. I
we
didn't
need
know
an
that at
intro
all.
for this.
An intro? I just
Yeah.
start, man.
Well,
I mean,
you gotta have,
technically,
like,
technically speaking, it does have an intro.
okay.
The So you saw the episode with Alex.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what happened, if it was during export or during upload to YouTube,
Okay.
but there is an actual intro.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you heard it, but it's like a boom, like it's that bottle popping.
Yeah.
There's a glug, glug, glug,
Yeah.
and then the spark of a joint and an inhale and exhale. It's supposed to pop up and say ErickDaniel CC, and then, or no. Yeah, ErickDaniel CC, the podcast, and then it just kind of starts from there, and that's my intro.
No, but I mean, you gotta have like a thing that you say. Hey, this is ErickDaniel Cervantes. Today I've got my buddy Simon a.k.a. Rheethink, a.k.a. Kim Jong-illist.
True, Kim Jong-illist, the mastermind himself, the freestyle Magoo, the guy that's got the beats that can't be defeated.
Oh, spitting bars here.
He out in the streets.
A little bit.
Just a skosh.
Yeah,
just a skosh.
Yeah, just a touch.
Yeah.
No, but that's good. No, but, just it's like
no, that's fair.
That the audience can latch themselves onto. Yeah.
But I guess they can choose. But, they can choose. No,
you'll develop patterns.
I'll figure. Yeah, I'm kind of figuring it out as I go. Because there's one thing that I do like to do, which I'll ask you at the end. With Alex, I did in the beginning. I asked.
You asked him a question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I just do that towards the end.
No, I mean, I feel like that's crucial though. Do you have like a set question that you like to ask? Yeah. Which one? Let's start here. Let's start
in
there.
your time on this earth.
Okay.
What's something that you have learned that has helped you live a better life?
Oh, and they just answer it without.
No, they go, oh, and they have to sit there and think about it.
Okay.
So while you think about it, I'll explain here a little preface
question?
for it. Yeah, I'll give it a little preface for the audience as well.
Okay.
So the reason I came up with this question and I landed this is going to be like my staple question to ask, is because if you look over there on the placard, that wall, which if you would be so gracious to at the end of this pod sign for me, like many others that have been in here. The placard says "Inspire to Think." Shout out to Kara West and J.K. Woodworks. They made that for me. They were able to bring out the vision that I had for that into wood, which is fucking gnarly. But it says "Inspire to Think" because I've always wanted to inspire people to think about how to live their life in a better way, more positive way. Yeah. So for me, being able to have so many different close friends that have experienced life in a plethora of ways, I feel like I have the access of endless amount of knowledge. Yeah. So because you've lived life differently, you've seen the world in a way that I haven't. Yeah. So something that you've picked up that maybe I've never even thought about.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah. The question is, on your time on this earth, what's something that you've learned that has helped you live a better life?
There's a lot.
That's the common consensus too.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
Usually there's one that just like kind of peeks up at you.
I have one that's a saying that I created. Although I picked it up, bits and pieces from other folks. Yeah. But before I get to that one, there's a really great saying I learned like 2 weeks ago. Do you know who Ernie Adams is by any chance? Okay. No. I'm good for one more hit, and then we'll move on. Otherwise, I'm gonna go way too fucking baked.
It's fine. It's 420. What's the point?
Yeah, but I can't. It's not my personal drug of choice.
That's true.
But it takes me I get too far in, and then I'm just kind of you
mellow out,
sitting in my own,
just vibing.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Remember that the anti-pot commercial from way back when?
Yeah, that is you deflated balloon.
No, they melt into the chair.
Yeah, they're just like they just look all flat. That one, yeah.
Yeah, I will say, the fact that was anti-pot seems kind of crazy, because that seems kind of awesome to just.
Bro, you want to melt in the sofa?
Yeah, bro.
Oh my god,
bro.
Some days
that's what drug dealers would use as like a selling card, right? It was like, bro, this shit right here. This shit is so fucking. You will actually melt into your chair. Like, people will be like, "Oh, word? Oh, that's what I want."
Sling that shit right there.
Yeah. I mean, this is normal weed, but this stuff will melt you into your chair.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the one I want to buy. I'm just saying, they didn't really, the whole DARE program, they didn't really think a lot of those things through.
Nah, and then when they put on the alcoholic drugs or whatever, like the intoxicated glasses on you, that didn't really help. I was like, this is kind of fun.
Yeah, and it's also not, it's not accurate, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Your, like, perception is just fucking weird.
Yeah. Also,
but when you're actually drunk, you're like, I can't balance right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's not necessarily the vision.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's really not.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, for me, vision will, like, slow down-ish.
Yeah.
And then it's just lights out.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you?
I'll start playing peekaboo. That's what I call it. I have blacked out. I blacked out in high school.
Well, do you black out regularly?
No.
Okay.
No, because the first time I drank, it was my senior year, and we threw a house party.
Yeah.
And drank a lot. Last thing I remember, I was standing up. I was, like, on both feet.
Oh, okay.
Then I wake up, my shirt was gone, and I just had a lot of jackets on top of me. And I go to Denny's.
Not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible, but I go to Denny's with my friends, and we're all eating at the table, and they're talking about stories and, like, shit that happened last night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? When was this? Who did that? And they were like, you did that. And I was like, really? I did that? And they're like, yeah, it was so funny. Moving? Yes. Yeah. And I was like, damn it, man. I wasn't there for any of the fun. I was like, that's bullshit. So after that, I was like, I'm never blacking out again.
Okay.
So I would get right to the line, and I would stay there.
Yeah. You shouldn't.
That's where I like to hang out. It's
great.
not. No, it's not great. It's not good for anyone.
No, for sure.
Not good for anyone. So that's where I go.
Like, one of the first times I blacked out. Have I told you the story? At Mount Sac?
Mm-mm.
So here's the crazy thing. This was Thursday of finals week. Now, I have a Friday final.
Okay.
This is for this
so
is
it's
for
the
stats.
night before.
Yeah.
Sick.
But everybody else finished their finals.
They were done.
By
Thursday.
The way,
Thursday is the Friday of college.
This was stats.
Okay.
And it's like honor stats. I hadn't studied for it.
Love it.
It's a Friday class.
Love
why?
it.
Why? You know, I don't want to show up for Friday classes. It was Friday 8 a.m. every week. So yeah.
How long?
It's a 3-hour class.
Jesus,
yeah,
dude.
Because it's only once a week.
I'm good, bro.
Yeah, stats 8 to 11. So obviously I skipped a lot of it.
Statistically speaking, yeah, I would say you missed a lot of it.
Yeah, the vast majority. Yeah, exactly. Right? You know, you just kind of do the math and
it evens out. Yeah. It's there.
So Thursday came, and my plan was, you know, have a little bit to drink, mellow out, and then I'm gonna go home and study.
Great plan.
And the plan started off good. Showed up, said my hellos to the right number of people.
Mm-hmm. Made sure they saw you.
Yeah, and I was actually about to dip.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And
okay.
Another fun fact: this same day was the day I first discovered Bacardi 151.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fun.
You know that's banned now.
No.
They no longer sell in the United States Bacardi 151.
Do you know the reason?
Because the alcohol content is so high.
What is it?
Do you not know about Bacardi 151?
I don't think so. I know Bacardi.
It's 151 proof.
That's why it's 151.
It's 70% alcohol.
Sick.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm 99% sure they no longer sell.
That's pretty lit.
Yeah.
It's pretty lit.
So I first experienced Bacardi 151 that night. And it was, yo, come get back here right before you leave. Take some shots of Bacardi 151 with us. And that's when my camera stops. Okay.
Nice.
I wake up on a chair with the legs that have been snapped off.
So you're on the ground.
Yeah. In my friend's house.
Okay.
No. I'm on the chair.
Okay.
But there's no legs on it.
The back or the front?
Huh? On the
backside.
No. The bottom. The legs.
Bottom. All the legs.
The
are
chair
missing.
legs are gone.
All of them.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I'm sitting down. I'm laying on the ground because it's a chair.
Uh-huh.
So I have the chair back. So I'm sitting like this, but I'm sitting up kind of, but I'm laying down type of thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I found myself on the ground. I have a different T-shirt on.
Okay.
I am missing a sock.
Okay.
and I have blood on my jeans. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
on the outside of your jeans.
Yes.
So that means not your blood.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm hungover.
Okay.
Can't think. Head's pounding. Yeah. By the way, if I don't show up to the stats final, I
fail
the class at DNF, right?
Yeah.
Or did not pass or whatever.
Yeah.
And I walk out of my friend's bedroom. I look in the living room, and there's no couch. I know there was a couch the night before, but there's no couch in my friend's living room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very confused.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I stumble outside, eyes blazing, check my watch, and 6:45 a.m.
What time is your class?
8. So I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I can make it. And I walk outside, and this guy named Peter is walking up, and he goes, "You're awake?"
Huh?
And I go, "Yeah, I gotta go to my stats final. What happened?" He goes, "You don't remember?" I go, No. He goes, "Yeah, I'm the one that switched your shirt out.
What?
Because you puked all over the couch."
Oh, no.
And I can't even worry about this shit.
You gotta go.
I'm hungover as fuck. First time I've blacked out.
Bruh.
Like, I'll talk to you later. I need to go to finals. Which, by the way, I still have to study for. So I drive, hungover as shit, to a Starbucks near the school.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull out my notes that I have to study for stats. And that's when the hangover really hits.
Mm.
And I am dry heaving as a motherfucker. Right?
Horrible.
I'm like, fuck. Trying to study, and I'm studying with this wave of nausea just coursing through me.
Mm-hmm.
8:55. Fuck.
Gotta go.
Stumble out of the parking lot. Eyes, lights, sun's way too fucking bright. Drive to the stats class. Sit down. 9:03. I proceed to, 8:03. And the entire time I'm dying. You know one of those where
yeah.
you're almost like you're trying to you're telling yourself to breathe.
In there, bro.
Yeah.
Yep. You're breathing
and I'm just,
on manual.
And like every couple seconds I'm trying to answer the questions in the stats final. Somehow answer the questions. And I finish it, stumble the fuck out, and I drag my ass back to my car, and I go, hungover as shit. And I open the door, and I'm like, all right, I need to figure out what the fuck happened. So I call. First person I call is this guy named Greg.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, Greg, you were there last night, right? What the hell happened? And that's when my foot starts hurting. I'm like, what the fuck? So remember I said I had a sock missing.
Mm-hmm.
So my right sock was missing. My left sock wasn't. Right? So I'm on the phone with Greg. What the fuck happened, dude? What? And I'm like, and then my foot's hurting. And I'm about to reach over and untie my shoe and take my shoe off while I'm on the phone with Greg. And guess what I notice?
Your foot's bleeding.
No. My middle finger is bleeding.
Oh, what the fuck?
And there's a cut here that had kind of scabbed up. And on the way down to reach to take off my shoe, I notice I have this gash.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, because the way I stretch my hand,
bleeding again.
It cut open a little bit and it's starting to bleed. What the fuck?
Okay.
Yo, Greg, hold on. Give me let me, finding some napkins. Actually, what the fuck happened? He goes, honestly, I left before it seems that it got bad, but from when I was there, you took the 151, you took a few shots of it, and then you went into Justin's room, and you were you got into an argument with a guy. And it was starting to get bad. And I don't think you know is that guy's a banger. And he was it got to a point where there's like 6 of them ready to fight you. And that was around the time I left. I go, oh shit. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, all right, for sure, Greg. And now it's bleeding, so I'm trying to yeah, all right, for sure. Did you know anybody who was there after you left? Who's still there? He goes, Jeff was. I go, oh, okay, I'll call Jeff. Hang up. And so, fingers bleeding, foot's hurting, nausea, hangover. I go, oh shit. Finally, I then start calling Jeff, but I take off my shoe on my left foot.
Real quick, I just want to clarify. His last name is not Coleman by chance, right?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so, because I have a Jeff.
Yeah.
His last name is Coleman. So I was like, there's no way
it's not
this
Coleman.
world is that
no,
small.
definitely.
Right,
He's
cool.
Asian. He's Asian. His last name isn't Coleman.
Asian Jeff.
Yeah.
I have Black Jeff.
Yeah.
Love Jeff.
It's not the same guy.
Not the same. All right, cool. Sorry. So you're going to go take off your shoe.
Yeah. Calling Jeff at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff picks up. He's like, yo, what's up, man? Bro, what the fuck? You alive? I go, yeah. Take off my shoe, and my left sock is bloody.
Oh. Okay.
Yo, Jeff, what the fuck happened last night, dude? It's like, you don't remember at all, do you? Yeah, you were pretty fucked up. And I was like, yeah, seriously, what the fuck? He goes, all right. So, Jeff was in the room when I got in a fight with these Filipino bangers.
Nice.
Is
Jeff Korean?
No.
Okay.
So Jeff,
it wasn't like Koreans against Filipinos. No. It wasn't okay.
Nah. But Jeff was there, so he's like he knew what it was about.
Yeah.
Supposedly we were having conversation. It was all chill at first, and I was just being braggadocious, and I was starting to get it was very clear I was very drunk. And they said something about it got to the World Cup.
Huh.
I think this was the year that the World Cup had just happened that year. And Koreans lost to somebody. But they were like, yeah. They said something along the lines of, the Korean team sucks. And, it's K-Rage.
Yeah.
And
Drunken Simon wasn't having any of it.
Yeah. By the way, neither the cut on my finger or the blood on my foot is related
to the fight.
Yeah.
Great. I didn't think so. Doesn't make sense.
Supposedly, I was about to get an altercation, and I didn't know that this guy was like a guy.
A fighter. Right? He fights.
Yeah.
Some shit. He trains.
Nah, he's a banger.
Okay.
But yeah, he so they were like, yo, you don't want to deal with it, and I'm like, fucking me saying blah 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 like Korean shit, right? What the fuck? Getting pulled off. He's like, dude, he's fucking drunk as shit, right? And and they're like, yeah, I know. That's why we haven't done anything yet.
That's kind of them.
Yeah. But then I get pulled off of that, and I get stumbled and dragged to sit next to two of my friends. They're in a relationship. And I hit on her while he's sitting there, drunk as shit.
Love it.
Supposedly then I got pulled off of that, because at some point the boyfriend was like, what the fuck? It's like, get into a point, man. I know you're drunk. I'm no memory of any of this.
You're not here.
I don't even actually find that girl attractive. No, it's none of this shit makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm drunk. I can't think. But yeah, I suppose I got pulled off that, and they put my leaned me against the wall, and while they were trying to clean other stuff, and I opened the garage door and fell onto glass bottles and cut my hand. That's where you cut your hand. Yeah. After they pulled me off, right? They realize that. They grab me and pull me off, right? They put me on the couch, and they're cleaning up the broken bottles. And sometime in the next however long, I puked all over the couch, which is why I had a different shirt on. Because they peeled me off, wiped my face down, and changed my shirt. And then when they sat me up, right? Yeah, when they sat me up, the blood that was coming out of my finger was dripping on my pants. So that's where there's blood.
Okay. Where'd the foot come from?
Yeah.
I'm just imagining being your friends, and it's like, God damn, like we just pulled you out of the glass. You're like, God damn it, he fucking cut his fingers, son of a bitch. Like, no, we gotta clean this shit up. He's like, it's fine. He's over on the sofa. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
Like, we just gotta clean this up. The night's almost over. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just finish cleaning that shit up, and you just puke on yourself, just like, God damn it. All right, let's clean him up now.
Yeah.
So you just cleaned up one mess. You go to the next one. Ah, I love it. It's humorous to me.
So I got picked up, cleaned me up, changed my shirt, and then they're like, just sit here. We need to take the couch out. So their friends are grabbing the couches and bringing it out. And while they're doing, I'm like, let me try to help. They're like, no, just lay down or just chill. I'm like, let me, no, I'm going to help. That's who puked on the sofa. Was the asshole. Let's, fuck that guy. Where is he? Let me find him. You know, puke on my friend's sofa. Fucking, you know.
Yep.
They're like, no, chill the fuck out. Chill. Just go to sleep. So they're taking the couch, and somebody gets me to kind of chill next to them, and then after they take the couch outside because they're gonna try to water it down, I supposedly got up and I moved over and I was like, I'm gonna help you move, and I stubbed my left foot on a chair, and it cut the nail, and that's why the foot started bleeding.
The foot blood.
Yeah. And they heard that, and I'm like, ow. By the way, they take my socks off at that point.
But just one sock. Oh, no.
No, both of my socks off. Okay. Yeah.
So you're completely barefoot.
Yeah.
Got it. Ow.
Yeah. And that was when they came back and they realized, oh shit, God damn it. So they put the sock on my left foot for the blood. Yeah.
I see.
Rather than taking my right foot sock off, it was somebody putting on my left foot sock.
I see.
Yeah.
How interesting.
Yeah. And the chair with the legs blown out. That was done before.
Oh, okay.
That has
okay,
nothing
okay.
to do.
So you didn't blow the chairs like that.
Yeah. That was.
Okay.
They just
Got
had an extra one of those chairs outside.
Okay.
Because the legs are broken and they just broke all the rest of them. And then he just there as like a ground seat.
Yeah. Nice little cushion.
Yeah.
Cushion with back support.
Exactly.
I feel it.
Yeah. Because I asked, I was like, because that was a question. I was like, did I? And that was, and I thought I asked Jeff. It's like, and that's, because I kicked the legs out of the chair, and he goes, no, what the fuck? And I was like, the chair with no legs. It was, oh yeah, that's Jeff like has that in his room. Or no, it was Jeff's on the phone.
Yeah.
Justin. Yeah, Justin just has that in his room. Yeah, it's just a seat with with no legs on it. I go, okay. So, and he's like, and then what happened? I go, well, we sat you down around there. We all, was like, what the fuck? Drank coffee. And then we're like, cool, he's going to stay asleep. And we just stayed up for a little bit to go to Denny's. And we went to Denny's in the morning when the sun came out. And by the time we got back to check up on you, you and your car had gone. So we were wondering what the fuck happened. But fortunately, Peter saw you as you were leaving.
Yeah.
Because he stayed behind, and he was supposed to be babysitting me.
Yeah.
When they went off to Denny's, because he's like, I don't want to go eat. But he happened to be outside smoking a cigarette, and that's how he saw me.
Yeah.
And like he met me before I left. Because it was the weirdest thing. We were like, where could he have gone again? What happened this time? And we just realized, you said you had to go to finals, but clearly, you're at home. Like, sleeping. Was like, no, I'm outside of my math finals right now. And I see all these, I have no clue what happened. He goes, the time between you passing out for the last time and you taking that final was like less than an hour. Yeah. Which is the wildest thing. So that happened when I blacked out.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Last time you blacked out? Or you blacked out?
No, that was the first time. That was the first time.
That was the first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was asking, like, was that also your last? But no. Okay. Not your first and last time. No, it is. It is your first and last time blacking out?
Kind of. I blacked out from weed, though.
Okay. That's a different blackout.
Yeah, in Amsterdam. But it was like I got crossfaded.
Got it.
So it was part of the alcohol, was part of the weed, but I also smoked a joint.
Gotcha.
I smoked a blunt.
Nice.
That some Italians passed to me. That was that long and
lit.
Like that thick.
Lit.
And they're like, take a hit of this. And I don't remember that, but I somehow woke up in my hostel.
Well, that's good. Yeah. It's
surprising.
a good thing you didn't wake up like tied up on a table.
That's what I expected. But there was a moment where I was like, oh shit, okay.
After I saw the movie Hostel for the first time,
I
did not want to go to Europe. I was like, no, fuck that shit.
Oh,
I'm staying in the U.S.
It's amazing.
Like, no.
Yeah.
I know. I've heard. It's also creepy. Europe is a great place.
Well, it depends.
Lots of stories.
If folks aren't. I mean, I did the whole hostel thing.
Yeah.
And going to all the hostels and kind of like using the trains and whatnot. But yeah, you have to have a comfort level for it.
Mm-hmm. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of like backpacking. Fuck, some people do solo backpacking, but I'm good. I think if I were to do anything solo in nature, it would be camping. Like, that would be the farthest I'd go. I'm not trekking 10 miles into the wilderness and then sleeping there by myself. I'm good. I'm good on that.
Feels fucking terrible.
It's horrifying.
Yeah.
It's horrifying with 2 people.
Yeah.
Even with 3. You're like...
How do you fucking... I'm like way too baked right now. And I'm sitting there going, how do you do this all the time? And like think.
So, I actually took a 2.5 month break.
Is your first time smoking in 2.5 months?
No, my first time smoking was with Alex, actually.
Oh, okay.
But I did take a break for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
So for starters, I went fucking hard in the paint at a certain point with weed. That was back when I was really experimenting spiritually and searching for answers within myself.
Okay.
So I would get astronomically faded and just sit in my own thoughts. And then after that, I would get very high and do tasks. It started with the simple things, so I'm gonna get really high and go for a run.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was okay, I'm gonna make some things, and I would start doing T-shirts. So I tried making a T-shirt while I was high, just because the act of creation made it a little bit more ritualistic for me. And then what really spiked my tolerance for drugs was my accident, because I was doing fucking opioids. And them bitches were strong. And at that time, I was really trying to, remain conscious and aware and retain all of the information that was being told to me. So I think that has partially to do with it.
Yeah.
But also, how you said, weed isn't your drug of choice. For me, weed is my drug of choice. I would go weed and then whiskey.
Yeah.
Weed, whiskey, and women.
I don't know. Yeah, not me. Yeah. I don't think...
You're not smoking cigarettes right now. That was one thing I noticed.
Yeah, I'm not smoking cigarettes.
How long has that been for?
Over a year now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations on that. Only vape, huh?
Yeah. Hey, I still need nicotine.
That's a step. You want a Zyn? You want a Zyn, bro? I'll Zyn with you. We could puke together.
I don't fuck with that shit. It's just wild. I can't mess with that. No, okay, I'll say this. Like my thing with weed or getting high on THC, is that I feel very out of place.
What do you mean?
And there's also moments where, like right now, I'm having trouble sleeping when I kind of sit and I go, well, maybe I should, buy some weed.
Just a little touch, a little oomph.
Yeah, I mean, like, or
something.
I'm curious about like, what would we do here for this?
Have you tried for sleeping? Tried melatonin gummies or no? Or melatonin tabs?
Yeah, I have melatonin tabs.
They work or?
Yeah, they're all right.
Okay.
But you can power through them.
Yeah, I mean, in my experience, kind of the same with weed too. You get a tolerance just like anything else.
No. What I mean is that you can push past drowsiness.
Oh.
Yeah. Same. Oh, it's
I guess kind of same.
No. It's kind of like weed right now, right? Where it's like I could let myself knock out and kind of disconnect from this conversation.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I was gonna say. If you just
but if you push past it,
mm-hmm.
if you push past the sleepiness, it turns into like loopiness. It's kind of like Quaaludes. Obviously, we haven't taken them, but no, I mean, but like
from Wolf of Wall Street, according to what they said.
Yeah.
Because we've never tried them.
Yeah.
So as far as Wolf of Wall Street knows, because we like movies.
Yeah. Well, so that's what I'm saying. Ludes. No, I mean they're sleep medication. So the thing was is like if you push past it, right? You're that's the high. But that's how I feel like with melatonin too, where I'm like, I push past the sleepiness sometimes, not to get high, but just because my brain gets kind of focused on something.
Yeah. You stay in a train of thought instead of just
and then I push past.
off.
Yeah, I push past these. That's where I'm like, well, will I do that with weed too, or yeah?
You can. It depends.
Yeah,
it depends. I do know that for me, weed kind of helps me slow my thoughts down, because one thing I did notice is that when I was completely sober, my brain is fucking like all the time. I'm just firing at 100%. And I found myself having to multitask often to remain productive. I had a hard time staying on one task.
Okay.
But I would still get everything done. It's just I was bouncing around instead of just like complete.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I know with weed, it's easier for me to just like structurally go through things. That's one thing I've noticed.
Sometimes the weed, like right now, it's kind of my brain is doing it, where it's you know, like a motorist hitting
redlining.
Yeah, or no, it's there's like an image in my head that I'm picturing very clearly, but I don't know how to describe it.
Is it internal shot, external?
No, yeah.
50 mil.
You know how when you in like Premiere or something and you're replaying a segment that you want to get like like where exactly do I want to cut it, or it's like let me replay this section.
Okay, like
and then you press and then you press space right to play from a certain section point, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to get cut a little here, and then you go space right, play. So it's like that where my thoughts are going and it's going go, and then I get to going, and then it repeats like a next phrase. So it's kind of like my brain is stuttering this because it's like, okay, your brain is still operating at that speed, but your body is now catching up to it. And so it's like my ideas are kind of bouncing on each other. And so and that's where the claustrophobia, the paranoia, it's kind of like the walls closing in type shit.
In your own head.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So almost getting stuck in a repetitive thought process feels like walls closing in your own head.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like
that's wild. I've never heard of that.
Well, if you're in a room where
explained that way.
Well, if you're in a room and a sound, like you ring a bell and the bell ring echoes off the walls and it kind of like gets closer and closer and closer.
Just like continues amplifying after each bounce.
Yeah. And the way that it bounces kind of constrains the environment. Yeah. And there's moments where I'm like, I'm down for that type of experience. But there's other times where I'm like, yeah. That's why it's not drug choice.
It's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair indeed. What I took away from that whole segment was you wanted another joint, so that's why I started doing this.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, I know.
Otherwise, no. I'm like super baked right now, and
I know, but this is for me.
Oh yeah. No, I feel you. No, but I'm like chilling now, and I just know if I took like 2 or 3 more hits, I'd be done.
GG's.
Yeah, I'd be like,
GG's.
hey Eric, we should turn off the recording because I'm not able to be entertaining enough for you at this moment. I'm very self-conscious about it.
You know what? I would just take 2 Zins and pop them in your cheeks, sit you back down, and then I'd play some smooth jazz.
Oh.
They can't hear it.
Goodness me.
Just play some smooth jazz. You'll be
on
a good one.
No, but then that's not a good recording.
You'll be on a good one. It's fine. The podcast ended and then we're chilling.
Oh, yeah.
So you just cut it. And I go, and that was Simon Rhee. You know?
No, I mean, lengthwise, it has to maintain like a certain, level. But, I mean, there is... Oh, I'm in like a thought loop. No, there's a performative element to podcasts, right?
Yeah.
Second you put a mic in front of anyone and headphones on them, there is an internal recognition of an audience, of outside eyes, right? The other. And so for me, I'm kind of sitting there going like, well, there's that element of like, oh, this is performative. I'm, somebody's watching and therefore I have a need to be entertaining or engaging in some way, shape, or form. And then the other part of me is sitting here going like, well, I'm so high, I feel like I've been repeating things over and over and over. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know where I started and where I went.
It's okay.
Perfectly honest. And I feel like you don't either.
That's what I was going to say. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
It's totally
You're zoned in, rolling your joint.
I was totally locked in here. 'Cause I was going to tell you that, like, I had that same thought. And I was like, oh, people are watching this. I have to entertain and this and that, XYZ. Then I remembered that the reason that I started this was to create an archive for myself and my friends.
Yeah.
In the first place. So I was like, okay, don't worry so much about
No, but
like,
I'm also thinking but even if the audience is Eric, I'm sitting here going like, well, it's like he's gonna skip through chunks of this.
So what I've found works for me is I listen back while I'm doing laundry. So I don't technically skip back.
No. Stuff. My thing is
there's some things where I just won't.
Yeah.
I just won't listen to it all. Like yesterday, I did a music podcast with Jeffrey where I'm like, there's nothing that I need to like. Okay, I need to check this. I'm just gonna post this and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That means that we had a bad episode.
No, it's just you said that maybe there was some things that you would want cut. So.
Oh no, I mean the other part of what I was saying just now.
I was just gonna start the video later, technically on our actual start. That was my plan for this one.
No, but I'm saying right now it's because the more baked I would get, I'd get even more self-conscious about.
Bro.
Yeah.
So I went to edit the one with episode 1, me and Alex.
Yeah.
And I go, damn, I'm fat. I had that thought. That was my first thought. I was like, damn, I look so fat from that angle. And I was like, fuck. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah. It's an interesting angle.
It's just open. And like, if you're hanging out, I was like, I like it. I like it. I ran out of money for the studio. Couldn't get cameras.
Yeah.
Phone works once I upload.
You got all the foam tape, though.
Dude, for all of the sound proofing stuff, I paid $25.
Yeah.
It was super cheap.
Yeah.
Super, super cheap. Yeah, I was like, damn, I look fat. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm already judging myself like that, it's like odds are other people probably stay the same. It's like I just literally have to take my advice and not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. If anything, I should go do more exercise so I could not be fat. That's the,
Yeah.
Just to be fair, I haven't been exercising as much as I should. But there's reason. I have a sore on my leg. And
that's not good.
It's not. I'm like nursing it closed. I put it on to go to work, and then I take it off when I'm at work because I'm sitting primarily.
Yeah.
And then when I go home, and then get home and I take it off, just so that I'm not like I don't have to go to my truck with crutches and a backpack. because it's almost closed right now, so wearing my foot for a little bit isn't a problem. It's more so if like a walking distance, or I do a workout or like run or something. So and I've been lazy to work out without my foot. So those are all my excuses.
I feel that. They're good excuses.
They are.
Yeah,
they're good enough. I'll say that.
Yeah. To keep your mind at ease.
Yeah. Good enough, because no excuse is a good excuse. Should just do things, you know. Should have that iron will. We're men. We're men, Simon.
Mamba mentality.
We should suffer. Yeah, Mamba mentality. Fucking David Goggins, bro.
Yeah.
David Goggins.
Never
Jocko
say
Willink. Yeah. Bad things happen. Good. I got hit by a car. Good.
No. No. Fuck that mentality. That's just not good. No, that's why male suicide rates are so incredibly high.
Very high. Hey, but if you talk about your feelings, no one fucking likes you as a guy.
Which is well, here's my question. Do you think that that's true?
In certain aspects, because females are always like, you should talk about your feelings and be more open and this and that, and then you are, and then they're like,
here's one thing that I will say is I think men talk with other men about their feelings a lot more than
if you have. So men that have close friends, yes, I would say yes. Because I don't know of many men that don't have friends that open up with other men. That like they're not close to, because if it's just like an acquaintance, it's just like the homie at work, you're gonna keep that like macho bravado.
I very strongly disagree. Is that, you know, if you I don't know how many random conversations at bars you've had.
I don't go to bars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I used to.
Not often I'm at bars. Yeah.
No, but like wherever you could meet with a stranger, right?
Yeah.
The vast majority of strangers I've met and interacted with, because you know, I've traveled by myself. You know, we talked briefly about Europe. I did the 3 months or 2 months and change for the American South. I hit 10 cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2.5 or 3 months, give or take. Yeah, I was always trying, and then I did 3 months in Colombia.
Yeah.
So I mean, in all of those and like all the other times I traveled here and there.
Quick question: have you ever been to Asia? Anywhere in Asia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Korea, Philippines.
So for the most part, you've hit like all the continents.
I haven't done Africa yet.
Really? Have you been to Australia?
No.
Okay.
No.
So just those two.
Yeah. So not the Aussies. I mean, there's New Zealand too. I haven't hit. Yeah.
True.
So that area I haven't. Yeah.
Like
maybe quadrant. Philippines kind of counts, but it's different. It's not Australia.
Yeah.
But no, like the vast majority of people generally kind of open up.
That's fair.
And a lot of people kind of talk about their feelings and stuff. What I will say is that I think a lot of times women aren't like the cliche. It's like, talk about your feelings. And there's an internal sense that I think is valid that men have, which is, I can't share my feelings fully and honestly because you'll take them too seriously, or you won't take them in the way that it's affecting me. Which I do think is generally valid. And I think part of that too is there's the guy's fear that like the sense of like, I think this is all genders, but you know, just for now it's really like, I think this across a lot of guys, right, will think like, when you're in a relationship and you really do love them or like them, whatever word you want to use, there are things where it's just like, you're pissing me off, right? But you pissing me off isn't that big of a deal because I've already come to terms with being okay with that, and my love of you already outweighs. But that doesn't mean that you don't piss me off. And for me, it's okay that you piss me off, right? And then, from the girl, it's like the second you say, it's like, well, right now I'm feeling like you're pissing me off, to be real honest, and I have all these stresses from work, and trying to come to terms with that, and it's affecting me, yada, yada, yada. Whereas, like, and the girl heard, you're pissing me off. And then either that and they go, or how can I fix it? How can I help you? I mean, I think there's this general sense of guys always care about, like, fixing things and girls just want to be heard, right? But I feel like a lot of times when guys are sharing their problems, it's worrisome because there's nothing they can actually do, and they're speaking to want to be heard. But then the girl internalizes it as, let me try to fix you when it comes to feelings. Guys want to fix things. Girls want to fix feelings. And that disconnect when, hey, there's no things that can be fixed. I want my feelings to be heard, right? Not feelings. I don't want my feelings to be fixed. I want my feelings to be heard. And then women are going like, oh, I can fix feelings. But when my issues are about things, I don't want, I want to be able to feel things, right? My things to be heard, not my feelings to be heard. I want my feelings to be fixed, right? And my things to be heard. And so there's that, like, weird disconnect. And so and then on top of that, there's fear. Brene Brown, she's a therapist. She had a very poignant line. She said, I've spent 30 years talking about shame and feelings and how powerful and important it is to share and be heard and feel needed and all that type of stuff, and self-care and whatnot. And I was at a book signing, and 40s, 50s-year-old man kind of comes up and he goes, I noticed that you don't talk about men in your research. Brene Brown said, no, I do not. I've always felt that, my focal point is on women and, the importance of sharing feelings about how women feel is, from my side that I understand and I do the research on. That's great and all. But you talk about being vulnerable and sharing how you feel. And I've got 3 girls and a wife that I'm here to get their book signed. And I know that all of them would rather I die on my horse than show the chinks in my armor. Because, sure, women, it's like, oh, be vulnerable, be vulnerable, be vulnerable, but they don't know how to respond to a male being vulnerable. And I think that's like a big challenge, big goal. But I do think, like, guys, by and large, share their feelings, right? And I think guys are really good at not wanting to fix feelings, right? So, to be cliche, let's talk about 2 girls talking about their feelings, right?
Okay.
It's like, oh my God, my boyfriend is doing this, my boyfriend is doing that. And it's like, ugh, right? And what the girl wants is, like, somebody to empathize, right? It's like, that sucks,
what an asshole.
right?
Fucking
But notice this, though, right? That sucks, he's an asshole, whatever it might be. You're basically telling their feelings, hey, you're okay. Let me fix these for you. Fix the feelings.
Makes sense.
You don't try to fix. You don't want to fix the problems that they're dealing with.
No.
Right. The things don't need to. The things need to be heard. Right. So, what an asshole. Like, I feel you. Right. Whereas a guy, if you tell, it's like, well, did you tell him? Did you talk to him about that? Right. It's like, well, did you?
Trying to look for solutions.
Exactly, to the things. Right.
Things that are causing the feelings.
Yeah. Whereas, but think about that messaging though. Right. When I say, it's like, well, did you talk to him about it? Right? What I'm saying is your feelings are heard, as in I'm accepting your annoyance at this, right? Let me try to fix the thing for you. Whereas if the girl's response is, he's such an ass, it's like, you're right, he's such an asshole. It's your feelings need to be validated. Your feelings need to be fixed. But the problems that you talked about, I would just hear them, right? Whereas, guy talks to another guy, they're gonna be like, so, did you grab a drink? right? After that, it's like, yeah, then my girl, like, blah, 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 happened and whatnot. It's like, you know, they'll make up some type of joke. It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah. And then you looked at her ass and you realize, right? Or it's like, and so that's why you're here. Yeah, it's like, what you gonna do about it? It's like, I don't know, nothing. Yeah, and they'll be like, I don't know, man. I fucking, something I don't want to kill her, but like, you know how it is, right? If
they give you the I don't know, it's like, all right, we're brushing this.
Yeah,
you're not trying to fix it. And the guy just
accepts and validates. It's like, yeah, I know, right? And there's like that 3 to 5 second bro silence where you go, shit sucks. Yeah. You know, so guys are actually good about talking about their problems, and then they go to solution, and then when solution is, it's like, well, that's why I'm here, and then you hear out the solution, and you're just like, all right, let's brainstorm. Or the vast majority of times, like, how many times you ask some dude about, like, they'll talk about their problems, and you'd be like, so what you gonna do about it? And then most of the time they just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. And as dudes, we won't. It's not talked about, but what we're internally doing, right, is for show. I got you. You know I have your back, and I'm gonna be by your back for you getting pissed at the situation, right? And lots, what's the other type of response dudes do is like they'll disagree, right? Be like, yo, and this decision is like, I don't know if that's like you should take it that way. Like, what if he was just, like moving his shit or something? Or it's like, yo, but that's his daughter though,
they'll
right?
Look at it from a different lens.
Yeah, and so what you're doing is you kind of insert yourself, and it's like, yo, I'm hearing about your feeling, and the thing that you're addressing with it. Let me fix that. Let me make you think about it in a different way, right? But I've heard your feelings of frustration, right? Because my solution to the problem, I don't need to validate your feelings, right? Or I don't need to fix your feelings, right? To hypercharge them and make them more, make you feel better, right? I'm accepting that you feel this way, and I'm pushing you in a different direction to deal with your feelings, right? Let's look at the thing that's affecting you, right?
Yeah.
Let's change the parameters of the thing. But it's at core, it's kind of all the same. Like, people are hearing each other's emotions and whatnot. The issue, though, is when the isolation kind of kicks in, because I don't know. It's a lot of different things. Societal pressures, right? Male isolation is a general problem, largely because of that. So I heard what you're saying about like, yo, but that's if you have close guy friends. But
you're right. There's people that are willing to just open up. I think that comes with the comfort
of most people is what I'm saying.
I think it comes with the comfort of like, I'm never gonna see this person again. They're not gonna affect my life.
Sure.
They're not directly a part of my life. So I feel comfortable releasing this information.
Yeah.
And then I know another big thing is for some males going to therapy, where talking about your feelings and figuring out how to fix these problems that you have within yourself, or whatever the issue may be that you're going, something you experience.
Yeah. I think it's like
shunned upon. That's like
80 to 90%
weak if you go to therapy.
Yeah, 80 to 90% of therapy clients are female, from what I understand. Well, this guy Dr. K has Dr. K has this entire thing where he's like, there's been the conventional thought is that men culturally, societally, right, feel their feelings need to be oppressed and don't want to reach out to therapists, and that's been the conventional wisdom. But instead, what if it's that the therapy service doesn't provide the same type of positive rehabilitative value to males
as it does for females?
Yeah, because the research is oriented towards women.
I would agree.
That guys won't go to therapy because that's not the help that they need.
I would agree, because from my understanding, therapy is a lot of validating feelings.
Yeah, but also it's like, it's not because men feel ashamed about therapy.
I definitely think there's some men that feel ashamed.
No, there is, but it's this inherent notion of, because therapy is a certain type of, I go somewhere and talk. And that type of approach is not ideal for men.
It's basically having a beer with your boys. The same shit, pretty much.
That's actually something that people did. I feel like it was in Denmark, if I'm not mistaken, is they purposefully created beer tables. And the tables were more designed and to like facilitate male conversations. And you had to sit with strangers.
Interesting.
And
That's cool.
One thing they realized was that the chairs can't be facing each other. They have to be at an angle. Because
so it doesn't seem like
that was a really important. There was a discovery that they made is that men don't share face to face.
How interesting.
Locked in. They share side to side, open body language. Because it's always externally facing, and it's like a open rotation, whereas like a female conversation is like boom, we're together. Whereas guys, you needed to open them up because that they felt very uncomfortable.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then they did the thing where
then it almost feels like you're talking to yourself as opposed to talking to a person. They're not in direct eyesight, so you don't have to face them and say, "This is what." Well,
no. It's like no. They're looking at it, but they have the option, and then they separate out.
If you want to, you could. But if you want to go deep and just in your memory, you're just locked in straight ahead. You're not looking at anybody.
Yeah.
But people are still listening.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's a lot of explanations for it, but I found that really interesting. Was that they needed to create male communal spaces, that were seated openly. And it was like a test project where I think it was people that like indicated depression and stuff like that, or males, and this was their support group type of thing. And it was just show up, have a pint, and talk for an hour.
It's pretty cool.
And they found that the levels of social isolation, depression, social anxiety.
I mean, you're also giving people something to look forward to.
Yeah, but that was a therapy. Like all the markers of therapy
were there
we're in that setting. We're found in that setting. And so, kind of does bring up the question of is like, it's not just quote unquote embarrassment, and simplifying the problem that way is more detrimental because it doesn't force you to look at the therapy itself as an issue. And that just because it works for X population, doesn't mean like is already going to be internally biased because most of the test subjects are from only 50% of the population, the female gender, right? And so reimagining what therapy is and what would most benefit men is an area that isn't often discussed but needs further research or understanding. Which I thought was really interesting as a general take.
I know one thing I know from just talking to different males in my life that I've encountered is that majority of them haven't found help in therapy. Usually they started to feel better when they actually got to doing something. They felt like they had purpose, or like what they were doing was meaningful.
Yeah.
So
I think that's super important, or that's super crucial.
I think that's important for everybody beyond.
Yeah.
Finding purpose in life, which is fucking difficult.
Yeah, but it's a genuine issue too.
What's your purpose in life? What's your purpose in life besides bringing smiles and sunshine to the people around you?
I will say I do not currently have an answer for that, which isn't good. Yeah.
What do you want to do? What do you want your purpose to be?
If I had an answer to that, I'd have an answer to this first one. Whew. I don't know how you ever got high this often.
You want to see me do it again?
No.
All right, sounds good. You can join me, by the way.
This time?
Yeah.
I'll take one hit.
You'll take two. Maybe three.
I can't.
I'm sure you could.
Definitely not three.
I'm sure you could. You're saying can't like if there's a rule against it.
Yeah. It's a personal rule. I don't want to. I don't want to get super baked.
You won't get super baked. You'll just get like a little baked.
No, that's what they said before I took the Bacardi 151.
This isn't Bacardi 151. I've been smoking this for like the past 2 weeks.
You'll the way it hits me though.
You'll be fine.
It's like Bacardi 151.
You already went first wave, Simon.
That's what because
you already went first wave, so the second one isn't as bad. You're used to it already.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Not true.
That's how it works. I promise you.
It's not true. No, because first wave hits and then the second wave. I go at least 3 waves.
So this is only the second. That means you have one more cycle to smoke. One time, Alex stabbed me with the soldering iron. Or technically, I stabbed myself with the soldering iron.
Yeah.
But if he didn't do what he did, I wouldn't have stabbed myself.
Ooh.
We were working. He used to... this is when we were just doing electronics.
Yeah.
My workstation was here. He was literally right behind me, so we could just trade tools.
Yeah.
Behind the back.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, can you pass me this tool? And he was like, yeah. And instead of actually putting the tool out that I needed, the handle, he holds the soldering iron, like, fucking around, thinking that I was going to look back. But I was working fast, so I went straight into it, went, bah! And I was like, oh, fuck. He was like, was that soldering iron? He was like, did you grab it? And I was like, yes. I told you I needed a tool. He was like, my bad. And we both started laughing. I was like, ow. That shit sucked. It was a good time. Don't recommend, but...
Yeah. Doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good at all.
Nah. Soldering irons, very useful.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Thanks for taking 2. I appreciate you.
Well, peer pressure.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
Good old peer pressure. How else are you gonna keep the old soul young? You know. Nothing does it. Nothing does it better than peer pressure, bro.
Not at all. Absolutely not at all. I'm not gonna validate that position. Ain't no way. I'm not just gonna give in because of the sake of the joke. I reject the premise.
Come on, dude.
I reject the premise. This is an improv. I don't. It's not always yes and. Sometimes it's no. Just no.
Sometimes you gotta tell Diddy no.
Oh
that's
shit.
Funny. Speaking of, yeah, dude, have at it. Anything on the table is free grabs, you know.
Yeah.
Go for it. You want mints? There's mints too. Those are my favorite. Those fucking Altoid, the original. These ones.
Oh yeah.
Cinnamon, peppermint.
Well, I love the sours. I mean, they stopped making them because they burned a freaking hole in your top of your mouth.
You're fucking right. You gave me some once. Was that when we stayed up all night to record 0 days?
We didn't stay up all night for 0 days.
Yeah, we did. So we left at like 3 in the morning or some shit, didn't we?
Oh, we left super early. That is right.
Neither one of us slept. Oh, go for it. Those are
That's
different
right.
flavors.
That's right. Well, we didn't stay up because of 0 days.
Those are different flavors, in case you want. True, we didn't know that we were going to do 0 days, but still, nonetheless. Also, I watched it back the other day. It made me just as happy. I love it. It's fantastic. Yeah. Everything we've done makes me happy when I watch it back. Like, we're doing very good stuff. I will say, execution-wise, could have been better. But conceptually, like, everything we did, we were fucking onto something.
Yeah.
You know? And
that's the key element, though.
Musically.
The final elements.
Well, musically, what you had already done was fucking great.
Thank you.
Of course, dude. Of course.
I haven't rapped in a second. I haven't written anything in a second.
You know what's funny? I was going to ask you if you wanted to do a little fucking rap at the end of the pod. Like, that's I was contemplating that. Throw down a little fucking something. Just cause.
I haven't freestyled in a while. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
All right. Bet.
Play it by ear.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I like it.
But, you know, you had a question before this. I've had 2.
I've had a question. I don't think you answered my first question, but that's fine. That's towards the end anyways.
That's right. Well, on that, one of the more recent ones was about Ernie Adams. And you said you hadn't heard of him. He's one of the masterminds of the Bill Belichick-led Patriots.
What is that?
The Patriots?
The football team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill Belichick, the coach?
Bill Belichick. Got it. Sounds familiar, but the Bill Belichick part threw me off. If you would have just gone Patriots, I'd have been like football team.
Yeah, but he's greatest coach of all time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Led by Tom Brady. But he's the coach, head coach. But Ernie Adams was one of the brains. He was the secret agent of the Patriots. So, do you remember against the Seahawks how Malcolm Butler intercepted on the 1 yard line?
Not gonna lie to you, no.
Okay.
I didn't really keep up with. I don't keep up with sports, I should say.
Ernie Adams was the person that predicted that play and drew up a counter. Yeah.
They said this is what they're going to do.
This is what they might do, and here's how we run the counter to this. They have footage of it as well, which is super sick. Of almost the exact same play. And I'm good. Nice try, bucko. But Ernie Adams.
Do you want hand-rolled tobacco?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. Not right now, at least.
Let me know. I have some if you want it. I'll make you a little cigarette.
But he's a football guy, but he had a recent podcast with Julian Edelman on the Games with Names podcast, and Ernie Adams had a great line, and he said he heard it from a different coach, a football coach, but the line is, "Anticipation beats reaction speed."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
But that's a recent saying that I feel like I'm going to be retelling people for a long time. Okay, it's a great life lesson. But the big lesson
beats reaction time.
Yeah, but the big lesson that I immediately thought about was like a lesson that I've kind of heard from, or I came up with at Mount Sac for speech and debate. It's something I've told a lot of other people too, but until you win, nothing else matters. But when you win, everything else does.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Until you win, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
After you win, everything else matters.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate more on the once you win, everything else matters part?
Yeah. Until you get to the top, until you win whatever endeavor,
achieving that task is the only thing that should be on your mind.
Well, you don't. I get that. Well, no. It's not that. It's that you don't matter a lot of times unless you won. Whatever, nobody cares about second place. Comes like with life too. Whereas, it's like, oh, I want to be a good person. I want to be an ethical person, or I want to do the right thing, or whatever it might be. If you, quote unquote, did the right thing, but nobody noticed, or it only affected one person, or etc., doesn't matter. The impact is negligible. It's not known. Nobody cares if you did the right thing. If you're a bumfuck loser. Yeah. Right? Okay. And you think, to yourself, it's like, oh, it meant something to me, right? But no, it's like nothing. It doesn't matter. Okay. Until you win. But when you win,
oh, interesting.
Everybody judges you for how you got there.
I see.
And you judge yourself for how you got there.
I see.
That's when things start mattering.
I see. Got it.
You see all those like famous people, like entrepreneurs, that say like, one thing I would do is like I'd spend more time with family, right? And I think the only thing that really matters anymore is like the people that care about you, right? And I go, well, because you won. Yeah. Now that stuff matters, but
prior to that,
if you didn't sacrifice your family, your free time, your physical health, whatever it might be, to achieve greatness,
you wouldn't have gotten there in the first place.
Yeah.
Interesting. That is an interesting perspective.
Winners write the stories.
I'm sorry?
The winners write
Yes.
winners write history.
Yeah. History is written by the winners. That's why I love a good villain story. So that's why I love a good villain story. To hear both sides. But that's really interesting that once you win, everything matters. 'Cause then
Everything other than winning.
Light is on you.
Yep.
Slightest mistake can tear you down from the top.
Even when you when I won, right?
Mm-hmm.
Speech or whatever accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
In that moment, it's like the victory in and of itself. It's like I hate winning. I hate losing more than I like winning.
So your drive to win is to not feel like a loser.
Yeah, or not losing. I hate having somebody else winning when I don't think they deserve it. Or I don't think it's good.
If you don't win, but the person that won, you feel bested you, you're like, cool, you deserve it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have competition.
It's warranted.
No, but a lot of times, if I think somebody's like legitimately better,
you give credit where credit is due.
Oh yeah.
Respectfully.
And then
love it.
Well, no, it's also like when the results come, it's always like, okay. That's what happened, right? It's not a frustration, but it's like I do hate the what could have been. But yeah, it's weird that victory is kind of the end all be all. But once you achieve victory, you look at the victory and it no longer holds that much value. And now your brain goes to all the things before that. How hard you worked, where you worked, right, et cetera, et cetera. And that's when you start thinking about it.
You hit the now what point. You hit the now what point.
Sure, yeah.
Because for certain individuals, they go, okay, cool, that task is done. On to the next one. Boom. You just fucking...
Yeah. Did achieving the thing, like, give you that much value? No.
Maybe it depends. I suppose it
depends. Yeah, it's validation, confirmation, right?
Yeah, that's a very subjective question.
When you look back at it and you go, if I had to backstab somebody on the way up, now it starts affecting you.
Yeah.
Or, you know?
Again, I mean, that also comes back to personal morals at that point. Cause fuck,
no, but I genuinely think ethics and morals mean nothing.
Well,
until you win.
Yeah. I guess so. For me, I see it and I go, I view myself as a prospective winner, right? I anticipate myself winning in the future.
Okay.
So I go, what would somebody that is achieving greatness do now, if that makes sense? Mm-hmm. So that when I am at a point later in my life, I can look back and not have any negative feelings towards paths that I chose, decisions that I made, or things that I had to do to get to where I want.
Okay. Like the guy that takes shortcuts on his way to the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that guy. The ethical path only matters if once they win. Also, them being unethical only matters if you win.
Yes.
The real kind of core question is that, all right, I should have trust in the people that are determining the winners. That's kind of the holding bar, right? They shouldn't cheat their way to the top, but that only matters if they get caught on the way up.
Which is fucking wild.
Yeah. If they or everybody else is in on it.
Which has also happened and is wild.
Yeah. And then you kind of sit back and you go, well, it doesn't matter if I don't cheat or cheat.
That's true. Then I guess at that point it's what you're okay living with.
Yeah.
The world is a vampire.
Oh. But that was like a core thing on Fish Debate where it's like... But there's also this certain notion. I could put in hundreds of hours here into all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But unless I win, it means nothing.
That's true, because you just studied.
Yeah.
For what? Second place? Damn.
Or let's say not even a podium spot, right? Not even qualifying.
True. Don't even podium. Fuck.
But once you do win, now it becomes valuable, right? Like who was the guy that you mentioned? The Navy SEALs guy?
Jocko Willing.
No, the other one.
David Goggins.
Goggins, right?
David Goggins.
Here's the thing. Goggins' message is bullshit. If he stayed if he stayed fat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
Cuz there's
Well, that's why he runs every fucking day.
No, but there are folks that run every day, right?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, the core of his story was that, it's like he said, fuck that. Because he was super heavy, right?
He was like 3-something.
Mm-hmm. And then he said, fuck that, and he pushed forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, one, if it happens once, it can happen again. So 6 months from now, David Goggins gets on a video, and he's just as heavy as he was back then. In actuality, the message, if it had value before, should still have value now. But does it?
The message that he specifically?
Yeah.
I would...
What if he gives up tomorrow, right?
So I would argue the message itself, at that point, no longer him. Because there are other influencers on Instagram that are very large.
What I'm saying is his message. Is his message now invalid?
His message of just keep going every day?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. So that's what I'm saying. Because there's other influencers on Instagram who have a similar message. They don't deliver it the same way.
No, I'm saying his message. Because technically speaking, in that moment at that time, right, it's true. And it shouldn't be any less true. You shouldn't have any less belief in it. Just because he wasn't able to continue onwards. If it had meaning to you before...
Oh, yeah.
Right? But that's not how it really works, though. He has to stay on the train.
In order for him to be a driving force of that message, yes.
Yeah. The message only wins, right? The message only has value because it won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say it has value because people deem it have value. So even if Goggins decided to...
Yeah, but that like I said, that message from somebody who's fat, who doesn't look like David Goggins, wouldn't work.
No. Well, yes and no, because if they are now fat and they're trying to push this message and they're like, this is what I am doing, and they stick with it, then that's, they're carrying that message.
Yeah.
So they're sticking, which
no, because you're assuming that that person eventually gets fit, right?
Yeah, that would be the assumption.
No, but what if they have like a physical thing?
Sometimes they just like if they were to quit.
No. Them being all that consistent stuff, they still maintain the same weight, same look. Wouldn't sell. Wouldn't sell.
No, it wouldn't. If they never changed, if there was literally no change in physicality, it would not sell.
Yeah,
you're right. But if somebody was actually putting in the work and not just lying, then their body would definitely change, even if it was 5 push-ups a day, fucking a walk around the block a day, whatever it may be, little by little, your physique would start to change.
I don't know if that's always true.
I would argue yes, and then again, only Instagram. There's like 3 or 4 dudes that I have seen consistently started out as heavy dudes. They would just go to the gym and just do what they could, and I've followed them for maybe like 6 months to a year. Huh?
What if it's steroids?
Maybe. But then, again, it goes back to morals and shortcuts. And personally, if you start, if you're shooting up with steroids, you got to know that that's something you're doing for the rest of your life because you're fucking up your hormones.
Yeah.
So.
No, but I mean,
if that's what they're doing, then that's what I'm saying doing,
is,
but
what if the message only gets to you, and it only increases in value because they got fitter, right?
Yeah, because the message is showing that
they needed to show that
provide a change.
Yeah, they needed to show that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Uh-huh.
What if it's attributed to something else? It doesn't matter, though, because they needed to get fit.
They need to get fit for health reasons, yes?
Yeah. No, I mean they needed to get fit, as in like to show the journey for the value of, let's say your goal was
yeah, there needs to be some sort of transformation, which which will go to validation, since we were on fucking therapy.
But once you did notice it, now it matters that it had to have been done ethically. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, that's what makes it genuine.
Determining the value of something
pure
is only possible after it reaches your eyeballs. And therefore, until you win, nothing else matters. But when you do, everything else does. Shut the fuck up unless you got some rings. Now that you got rings, let me judge you. Let me judge how you got your rings. Right? Yeah, you got a ring, but you was a bus rider. Right? Yeah, you won a ring, but you had these teammates with you. Yeah, you won a ring, but right? But until you do get a ring, it's shut up. You don't have a ring, right? Come on.
Yeah.
Why you look depressed?
No, I'm like deep into contemplation.
Yeah.
It could also be the weed just dragging my face down.
Yeah.
No, not draining me, just dragging my face.
Feel that.
I do know my literally hours before this pod, my dog got a little overexcited and smashed his face into mine. So that's this eye. I don't know if this eye looks like a little extra poofy or like down like this, but that's why that one does.
It's a cut too.
Yeah, he got me a little bit.
Yeah.
His tooth hit my eye pretty good. Not his fault.
Well,
yeah.
Well, it is his fault, but it's okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
Did you ram your head into his, or did he ram his head into yours?
I went to give him a kiss, and he was like, "I'll give you a kiss."
So it is his fault.
Overexcitedly kissed me. Yeah, I suppose it is his fault, but
but it's not. It's okay.
It's fine. He's a good boy.
Somebody can be at fault, but not be responsible. Wait. Somebody could be at fault, but
it not be menacing.
But not be held responsible.
Okay.
Yeah. As in, like, there's nothing wrong with that, but it did happen that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was in deep thought because of
like, there's a difference between Eric got me mad, right?
Yeah.
And Eric made me mad. There's a difference.
Yeah.
So as in, like, I don't know, let's say I hate when you wear that bracelet, right? And that makes me mad. But you didn't do it to make me mad.
Now that I know, I'm going to do it purposely to make
I
you
know,
mad,
man,
though.
that fucking bracelet, dog. Jesus fucking Christ.
Dang, I'm like, you remember this one?
Remember this bitch? But that's what I'm saying. It's like, there's a big difference between those two things. Intention is incredibly crucial for the context. Right? Like, if you told me, hey, or hold on. Let's say, like, when I tap my fingers on the table, it really pisses you off. Right? Let's imagine. Now, if you didn't tell me and I did it, it would make you angry, right? But would you blame me for that? Right?
Yeah.
Like, am I at fault, or am I to be held responsible? I'm at fault for making you mad. I'm the trigger.
Yeah.
But I'm not I shouldn't be held responsible because I didn't know. But if you told me,
and then you did it,
and I did it, look, after you told me, right? Like, right after, not because I forgot, but afterwards, knowing.
Just because.
Yeah. That's a way different. Like, I'm at fault, and I should also be held responsible.
Take responsibility.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. But intention is super crucial.
It is.
Yeah.
Just funny because I'm tied onto the once you win, everything matters.
Yeah.
So I'm putting, like, intentionality to that. So you could argue that somebody wanted to win so bad that they intentionally did bad things to other people to put themselves ahead.
Yeah.
Which is wild to think.
I feel like that's most people, though, actually.
It is.
Well, if you really get down into it.
It is. That's why it's called the Shark Tank, no?
Well.
And Doggy Dog World and fucking...
Yeah. No, but I mean...
all that goodness.
With most things, I feel like there's winners and losers.
Yeah. That's in nature. Mm-hmm. Things die and the winners eat.
Yeah.
That's... Which is at, like, the truest form that is winning and losing.
Oh.
Primarily why I like MMA so much. It's just fighting. It's like,
Are
somebody.
Are you really a big MMA fan, though, or are you like a casual fan?
I enjoy combat.
Yeah.
I don't like follow. I follow my buddy Tien. So I know the promotion that he is in.
Mm-hmm.
I follow...
Who's Tien?
His name is Tien Lu Nguyen. He is 25? I think he's 25 years old.
Familiar to me. Yeah. Like, the name sticks up. I don't know why.
You've probably seen him a couple times. Maybe not in person, but on my page. Met him early 20s. I was like young 20s, and he had just like barely turned 20. But he's fighting. He's 4-0. He's really good. That's his amateur record. That promotion I've been following because he fights there. Mm-hmm. So, like, I know what's going on there. And then I like to watch highlights because it's enjoyable.
The BMF fight?
BMF?
You don't know? Max Holloway versus Gagey?
Yeah, the ending was wild.
Yeah.
See, bad with names. I watch clips. Horrible memory. I pay attention.
I remember the fighters.
Like, sick.
Holloway's amazing.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
Well, first time he's done that.
Got great hands. Bro, he finished right before the buzzer.
UFC. He was winning the fight, and he still did that.
Hey.
He was winning the fight all 5 rounds.
There's different people out there. And
he just punched down at the ground and just, let's end it.
He
broke his nose in the first round.
The fighters are different fucking people, dude. Hanging out with fighters and just talking with them a little bit, I'm like...
Nah. That's
good.
Not a fighter's thing. That's a Max Holloway thing.
They're all unique, but yes, I get you. Some of them, like, they don't fucking care.
Here's the thing, though.
Some of them that, I can't wait to break my nose.
If Max Holloway lost...
that would have been even wilder.
Yeah. But now what's the narrative now? He's a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm. Because he was going to win.
But the action doesn't change. It's badass regardless, but our judgment of it only changes because of the result.
Yeah.
Once he won, now how he got there matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if he didn't win, it's not looked positively. That's the dumbest move in UFC history, right?
Yep. That's what I was about to say.
But that's why we respect it, because it could have been that.
Yeah. Of all the games I've played, life is the most interesting one. It's the rules of it are ever bending and expanding. It's infinite, much like the space that it inhabits.
Yeah.
Nuts, dude.
Yeah, that's a message.
See, that's why I like that question, because that's not a perspective that I've ever even entertained.
It's a wild one.
I'm dumbfounded, befuddled. Yeah, that is a good one. I like it.
Glad you went deep with it,
dude. If you're not going deep, what's the point?
Yeah.
It's just wasted time.
But it has very different messages at every level.
Yes. And it can also be perceived in different ways, because at first, during the beginning of the explanation, I was thinking about it in a different perspective.
Yeah, tell me. Because I think that this is the way most people interpret it.
You said tell me?
Yeah.
So at first I thought okay, until you have won, nothing matters. So, seeing friends, family, like it doesn't matter what it takes. Winning is the only thing. Until you achieve that goal, that is the only thing, the only task at hand. Once the goal is achieved, nothing else matters. So I was thinking like, okay, nothing else matters anymore. You can either pick another goal, retain that goal, whatever. If it was a status that you got, a title, fucking whatever it is, just like hold on to it, or like you just get lost in yourself. That was where I had that was just the thought of it that I had, and I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But
when you win, everything.
Your explanation was it was like a flip side of the coin.
Oh.
An original thought from Simon Rheethink and Simon.
Not that original.
It's original.
I'm sure somebody's written about it.
Shut up, dude. No, it's original. It's coined. It's originally here. It's original to me, okay? Let me have this one, dude.
Okay. What are your biggest insecurities? Non-sexual edition.
I was gonna say a hairy butt, but
That's
you
why.
said non-sexual, so it's technically I share it
like,
anyways.
I guess non-physical.
Non-physical,
really. Because there's like insecurities related to. There's insecurities related to like how you look or anything like that.
Well, yeah, because insecurity go pretty deep, even to like personality type and the way you carry yourself and whatnot. In a physical sense, thankfully, I don't have any insecurities. I've done a lot of work to not, even though I will share this with you because as a almost going on 2 years without a foot now, I can confirm the females do not like it. I can tell you, I can 100% confirm no foot and fat is not a good mix. So I have to get fit and then see if it's just the foot or if it's just because I was fat.
Okay. Is there a story there or?
Yeah. So past 3 girls that I've dated or like gotten close to, at the end were like, I don't think I can do this, and I'm like, interesting, why? And they go, the foot's weird. I'm like, okay, well,
really,
yeah.
We said that.
I appreciate you being open and honest with me.
Yeah.
But like I can't do anything to change that for you. Sorry. Yeah. Like and there isn't anything that's gonna change it for you unless like you just say fuck it, you're a cool dude, and I'm gonna get over this. So I'm like, all right, well, sucks.
Wait, you dated them for a minute?
There was 3 chicks. I talked to each one for approximately a month each.
Okay.
Yeah. And each one kind of had the same outcome.
When you went out with them, or were you just talking?
No, we went out.
Oh, and everything.
Like in person, shared time.
What about it though? That's what I'm so curious about.
Exactly. No, I didn't go in depth. I was like, cool. I'm not gonna dig. What's the point of me digging?
I'd be curious.
Yeah. For what?
Well, the why.
Oh man, that Coke is fighting back.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. You don't look.
Get it.
You don't look that much different with or without the leg.
No, I think I look more futuristic. It's like more accessories.
Sure, but
so
I'm just
like
saying,
whatever.
If you have pants on,
I never wear pants.
Well, I'm saying, I'm saying is
I
that
have pants, but the leg is cut.
Well, my thing is that if you were in a wheelchair,
it'd be different.
No, it'd make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
No, because I'd be like, oh,
life's more difficult.
Yeah. Like I can't walk with I can't hold your hand while walking with you.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, well, it's a prosthetic leg, and he has one. Yeah. I wonder what's the like. I don't know, because they didn't. I'm guessing they never got to the like they cared for you part, right?
They said they did.
No, as in like they cared for the leg.
Oh no!
Like they did anything for your leg.
No.
No, that's what I'm saying. Why would they ever have to think about the leg?
I don't know. I spent a night with 2 of them, so maybe it was that fucking like. They felt it rub on their leg, and that was like, that's fucking weird.
Oh, and it was like really creepy to them?
Yeah, maybe.
See,
I don't know.
Well, I guess
I didn't ask,
I guess
but
that's
like,
when it makes
whatever.
sense.
That's why I didn't really care. I was like, if it's weird, it's weird.
But I think it's like
I put myself in the shoes of somebody else, and I go, okay, pre-foot. If I were to meet a chick that didn't have a foot, how would I feel? I would go, she is a disabled person. I have both my feet. It would be nice if we could just go for a run without having to have her deal with anything. Like, I put myself in a really like closed-minded.
Maybe that's why I don't get it.
Okay, cool.
Well, I'll say like in my.
I'll just leave it.
That's what I'm saying. In my mind, maybe that's the difference, because I would just be like, no, I don't think I would, regardless. Yeah.
What do you mean you don't think you would?
Like you said pre-foot, right? Like I'm currently pre-foot.
Yeah.
As in I still have my foot.
Yeah. But you wouldn't date a chick with a prosthetic.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it would matter.
Oh, you're saying you don't think it would matter?
Yeah. Wheelchair is different. No.
Wheelchair
is different.
100%.
No, that's what I'm saying. For prosthetic leg, I'm kind of sitting here going, why would that matter?
Well, dude, I go as far as thinking like, okay, single below the knee amputee.
Yeah.
Double below the knee amputee.
Yeah.
Single above the knee amputee. Double above the knee amputee. What if it's an amputated arm? Like it's all fucking wild. Like it's all variable factoring.
Here's my question though: is you said pre-leg you wouldn't have, so I don't understand that thought process. Why wouldn't you have?
Because to come to that answer, I put myself in a very like closed-minded, not very open mindset. So assuming that's what the chicks were.
No, but you said you pre-leg.
Yeah, so I put myself in a pre-leg mindset. Like, I thought back. I'm like, okay, let me think back to how I was when I had 2 feet.
Back then, you wouldn't have dated a girl with prosthetic leg, right?
There's a chance that I wouldn't have, because I would have put the same preconceived notion label that the chicks put on me.
What are the preconceived notions? I don't know what the preconceived notions are.
Just an unable person. You're not like, you're very limited to what you can do in life, which is what most people think.
Going for the run thing?
Going on a run, like you're not going to be able to go hiking with them. Like,
how many girls have you gone on runs with? That was like a thing? In one of my relationships, I would go running with the chick I was with. Yeah. Pre-foot. I like to run, dude. I know, but so I'm guessing you've had more than one girl in your life.
Yeah.
Okay. So out of all the other ones, you only ran with one of them.
Yeah. The other ones didn't like running.
But that wasn't a deal breaker for you.
It wasn't. But they also both had 2 feet.
I know, but that doesn't matter.
I think it was like I don't know. I like them
to
be like
no. But my thing is that whether they have or don't have feet,
it doesn't matter.
No, what I'm saying
shouldn't matter.
No, it didn't matter to you because you dated girls that didn't like to run.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
The prosthetic girl wouldn't like to run.
I don't
but
know.
also all the other girls did neither.
So the other girls would go hiking with. So the running with me wasn't a deal breaker. Hiking and exploring nature with me.
Did all of them go hiking with you?
They would go into nature with me. Because that was a deal. Like, nature is a deal breaker for me. If you're not going out into nature with me, I'm like, you're weird. If you don't want to go out into nature,
you can go into nature with your prosthetic, right?
Yeah.
Or you do?
Mm-hmm. I've been camping like 3 times.
Yeah, what I'm saying
3 times
is
I've
like
hiked with it, and then I take like.
Why would you think they wouldn't? I guess. What if they said
because I didn't know prior. I'd be like, really, what the fuck? And then I'd be very curious. But again, I didn't know prior. Like, the world that I am now living is.
That's so interesting.
Extremely, it's very new to me. I never even looked into it. Never thought it was possible.
All I'll say is like I wouldn't.
I just knew of runners. Like, okay, you could put on a blade and be an Olympic track star. Cool. You could just go really fast straight. But no, there's dudes out there that are climbing glaciers and mountains, and it's fucking nuts. Yeah. So.
No, but that's why. I don't know. That's wild to me.
But that's proof that people can change. You know? It's learned knowledge.
No, it's not.
Yeah, because it was an assumption based off of
it's
something
not
that I
learned
didn't know.
knowless. It's now empathy.
Okay,
that you're able to emotionally connect with what that feels like because you've gone through it.
Yes, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But at the time, like, I didn't know of the world of amputees and what is possible, which these chicks didn't either.
That's what I'm saying. Does that matter?
Oh, this is what
How does that change anything?
Whether it's weird to them or not?
What do you know now more than you've known before?
Oh, Jesus, so much.
I know, but that affects your judgment of a person's care or, like, character. Like what?
As far as amputees?
Yeah. Like, what did you think they weren't capable of doing before that you think they're capable of that you now know they are capable of?
Oh, well, now I know that they can literally do everything. Before, I thought they were fairly limited to, like, you can walk around, and then if you put on a blade, you can run.
Yeah.
That was about it. But I didn't research or look into anything either. I was negligent in that area and very...
I'm just surprised that that's a deal breaker.
Now I'm looking for my left foot.
Huh?
So now I'm looking for my left foot. If she got the left and the prosthetic on the right, hit me up.
That's funny.
We could be matching. We'd be the best three-legged race.
Yeah. Actually, that's all hips though. A lot of that's hip matching.
Yeah.
But no, I guess I don't know. I don't know if I would. Yeah, I can't imagine that would affect my position on somebody, prosthetic leg or not.
Mm-hmm. That's off to you, pal. I'm proud of you.
I don't know. It's not even I don't even feel, it's a thing. I'm more surprised that it is a thing than it isn't, or that I'm not. If you had asked me, I would have assumed that everybody wouldn't, like, by and large, don't care or wouldn't mind. But I'm guessing I'm wrong.
I was not surprised. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did a consensus shortly after, and I hit up all my guy friends, and I was like, "Hey, if you met a chick without a foot,"
and most of them said
yes.
That's what I'm.
Most of them were like,
that's what I'm saying. That's more surprising to me.
But most of the answer was like, "Yeah, bro, cheeks are cheeks."
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, I feel it. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Ours.
My girlfriends were more like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They would hit me with the I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I wasn't surprised when chicks were like, I don't know, it's kind of weird to me.
Like I said, I think girls care a lot more about physical than guys do.
I think it's because we have to protect them. So the more capable you seem.
Well.
Like, in the back of their mind, they know that they're picking a protector.
Oh, yeah.
So the more capable you seem, the better.
I don't think guys care about looks that much.
I would argue against you.
I think it's all no. I think it's all threshold based, as in like who they'd want to date, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's basically not unattractive. As long as they're not unattractive, I'll give it a shot. I think the vast majority, and not even like guys have to lower their barrier because like they get no. So like I'm not even saying any of that. I'm just saying I think the vast majority of guys have like you're not unattractive. Yeah, we're good. Cool. Like
what else you got?
Let's give it a shot, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas I feel like with women, you have to be attractive to be given a shot.
Well, then I must be at least attractive because I got the shot.
No.
I got the shot.
No, I know, but the vast majority of guys just was like, "Oh, you're not unattractive. Now let me care about all your other characteristics."
Let's see what's up. That's true. I can stand looking at you. I like looking at you.
Yeah, I like, as in like, I have no issues looking at you. Like, you good. Now let me understand all this other stuff. Yeah. But I mean, it also comes down to, of course, supply and demand too, right?
True.
Yeah.
Japan, supposedly. Mm-hmm. The male to female ratio is crazy.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah. But I think that's generally it's kind of a wild notion. But I think women are a lot more judgmental than guys.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And they care a lot more about physical appearance than guys do. And they're way more sexual than guys are.
Interesting.
Not desire to have sex.
Okay.
Because testosterone.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I mean is what valuing of sex is incredible. Like, dudes don't talk that much about fucking bitches. And it's always
Not
in the
really.
general. It's always general.
It is always general.
Yeah.
If we do go deep, for some reason, in my experience, I don't know
question.
if this is true.
Yeah.
It's either
Is that normal,
it's
dude?
Comedic. Yeah.
Yeah, or it's like
it's comedic. It's like cracking jokes.
Yeah.
Cracking jokes about it
Or like
shit.
you kind of like
you're telling story about some wild shit that happened.
Yeah, she was doing this weird shit, right? It's like, yo, shit. Any bitch ever done that to you? No, but like, and it's always general.
It's a discussion. It's not.
Yeah, and it's always like,
trying to get
like
information.
Like nice high five, cool, like, yo, sick, all right, dope. It's like it's never really that long. With girls, it's like
they'll go in deep.
Yeah,
going deep.
Yeah, talk about all the girls, right? Like have talked about their boyfriends' penises, right?
If they got pictures, they shared.
Yeah. Exactly.
There was one chick I dated back in the day, and she was like, I want you to know if you ever send me a dick pic, I'm showing it to all of my gay friends and all of my girlfriends. Yeah. And I was like, noted.
Yeah. But I mean, that's
not to say that I'd send dick pics or anything, but she did say that.
Which is also wild, though. It's like if it were the other way around type thing. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a serious issue. I think I'll say this. I think it's bad both ways. I think it's bad both ways.
It is.
But
if a chick says that to a dude, nobody bats an eye, though. If you were to say that to a chick,
well, no,
Jesus,
no.
Would you
I know.
Destroyed.
Guys would be like, yeah, it's a fucking issue. But what I'm saying is, like, if a guy said, "Yo, I'm gonna show my dick pics to all my friends," I'd be like, I think that's that's just as fucked up. Whereas in the sentiment of like, sure, an unsolicited dick pic is really fucked up, right? But then like the count, it's like, and then I'll show it all around,
releasing it to wherever.
Yeah, and it's like they're two things that are also bad.
Isn't that how math works though? 2 negatives make a positive.
Not even. Well, yeah, but not even. They have to be multiplied with each other.
Oh. Okay.
But this is addition.
I see. Got it.
A negative number added to another negative number makes a bigger gets a bigger negative number.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but if you multiply 2 negatives,
then
right,
you do get a positive.
Well, and I would say that's more like if I'm attempting to punish, right? So it's reciprocal violence, right? That's like negative, like killing a serial rapist.
Okay.
That's a negative, which is murder. On a negative, a serial rapist.
Yeah. So
those make a positive,
cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's multiplying each other. It's counteracting. But then there's the element of like, oh, I did something bad. You do something bad that isn't stopping me. Those both things, it's
just
it's extra bad.
Negative.
Yeah, it's a bigger negative.
I could hear all of my math teachers saying, "See, I told you you'd use math one day."
Yeah, we use math all the time.
It's true.
Or I use math all the time. Risk calculus.
Dude. What? Risk calculus?
Yeah, like when you're making a judgment of like, do I slow down? There's a yellow light, it's just turned yellow. I can either hit the gas to beat the yellow, or I can hit brake to brake before, right? Yep. You're doing a risk calculus of how far am I away from crossing the other side, right? How fast can I go? Like you're doing math in your head all the time.
That's true.
They're just not concrete numbers.
I was about to tell you that I've been dealing millimeters for the past, actually this whole year. It was not
better system than inches,
bro. Not when you know inches. Not when you've been working with inches for the past 6 years, and now you switch over to millimeters, and you're trying to convert to fucking inches all the goddamn time.
Yeah, it's better though. But once you get it though,
it's closer. It's more exact. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
it's more exact. Sure.
But once you get it, once you can eyeball like a meter.
Oh, I can do that now. Oh, a meter? I can eyeball a millimeter. I've been dealing in millimeters.
What even a millimeter? If you can eyeball a millimeter, you can kind of like reverse engineer like how many meters it is.
I don't know how many millimeters in the meter though.
1,000.
Thanks. It's good. Milli. Use the brains. A little less weed, might help. Okay, good to know. 1,000 milli meter. Yeah. Okay. But yeah.
Million.
I'm a millionaire. I'm a young money millionaire.
That's such a sick song.
That is the
There's actually
we're
so
testing
many
these speakers. That is the we're testing these speakers song.
Oh really?
For me, yeah. When people are like, "Yo, I got this fucking sick ass system," I'm like, "Play a Milli." By
That's a good one.
Lil Wayne. Sure is.
Well, you got a lot of the highs, and I guess you get the lows with the backgrounds. It's all high snares as well.
If you got a good system, you're feeling the ground shake.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So it's a good song. I mean, it's got the melodic in the very beginning, too. Yeah.
Yeah. That is a great song. Yeah, millimeter. Fun.
Yeah.
25.4. This is some bullshit, and I understand why people are pissed off, because 25.4 millimeters is 1 inch.
Yeah.
Bro, why'd you have to throw the 0.4 in there? You just fucking make
That's the inches being weird, not the meters.
I know. If you would have just made 1 inch 25 millimeters, oh my god.
Why 12 inches in a yard? Or 12 inches in a foot? And 4 inches, or 3 foot to a yard?
I don't know. And a yard is just under a meter.
Yeah, how many yards in a mile?
I don't know.
5,280.
Okay, how many meters in a mile?
In a mile?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's like 4.5 kilometers, right? That's 45 meters? Or 4,500 meters? I think. Hey, Google. How many meters in a mile?
Sponsored by Google.
1 mile is 1,609.344 meters.
Ah, 16.
So a mile in meters does not
It's
equate
1.6
properly.
kilometers.
Yeah, it gives us a decimal, but yards will give us an exact mile.
5,280.
Curious.
Well, no, because it's an arbitrary number that it gets to it.
What do you mean?
It's plucked out of nowhere. Why is it 3 feet to a yard? It's plucked out of nowhere. Why is it 3 to 1? Why is the
Maybe it's
ratio
because
3 to
back
1?
in the day, people's yards were only 3 feet. It's the only thing that makes sense to me right now in this moment. Could you imagine?
A yard length was 3 feet's worth?
Mm-hmm. Like your front door and then the street.
It is 3 feet to a yard, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. 3 feet to a yard. No, you're good. Braining.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it.
Oh.
I feel it. It's also getting late.
Is it?
Yeah, it's almost 9. It's late-ish. The night has begun.
Oh, shit. Time zoomed.
Yeah. You got anything to do tonight or no?
No, just chilling.
Sure.
Tomorrow I'm going to my buddy's house to watch the final round. It's getting spicy.
Ooh.
Very, very spicy. Pretty sick.
Fun.
It's the last round of the World Chess Candidates.
Yeah. I went deep on chess last year. Actually, almost exactly a year ago. A little over a year ago. Last March, I was in Portland with Alex, and we brought a portable. Or no. This is where we
I can't believe
decided.
it's been 2.5 hours.
It's been about 2 hours.
It's wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what I said for that long.
It's okay, me either. It's fine.
Yeah.
Be like that.
It was
That's what I
super
see.
rake.
That's what this is for. So I can go back and be like, because I know I was like, Simon dropped some fucking knowledge bombs.
I don't know if I did.
So I go back.
I think it's all in my imagination that I dropped knowledge bars.
Nah. So again, it's subjective because some people might listen and be like, "Oh yeah, I knew that already. Cool."
No, I don't even think I.
You
I
just
feel
learned
like
that.
I feel like I gave some high logic for something. I can't even recall.
A couple different things. We've been on a couple of different topics.
We'll see.
Because I know the winning everything matters.
Mm-hmm.
That one stuck on me, and then talking
Anticipation
about feelings. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So my pops always liked to say when we would play racquetball, he would say you need to act and not react.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anticipation.
But, yeah.
East reaction speed.
Translated that into every sport that I played.
If you know where something's coming from, it becomes so much easier to deal with it.
Yeah.
Rather than reacting to where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm. In a sports sense, we would say you go to where the ball is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go to where the ball is going because then you're trying to catch up.
Yeah, for sure. That's what made Messi great.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
You can watch some of his highlights, and the fool is he's literally just kind of like
just
floating
walks.
in like a
walks everywhere.
It's like a little 10-foot circle that he'll just float in.
I saw,
and then all of a sudden, choop,
he's
darts.
just there, it's in the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard that him being on the team really screwed over a lot of rookies. I was listening to an interview.
Oh yeah, of course.
He didn't treat practice super seriously. And those partially was some of it was coaches, where it's like you get beaten up so much during the game because everybody's trying to foul you. right, and take you down. That like rust your body up. But he also like coach would go over game plans. He's just on his phone because for him it doesn't matter.
They've got Messi.
Yeah, but also it's like he knows these systems. It just comes to him very naturally. So he only needs to hear it one time. And he understands the core ideas, and he also understands like the system is built around, me. But then the rookies would see him kind of lazily run around practice at 50%, not fully checking the game plan. A lot of them got injured, got hurt, right?
Makes sense.
Didn't know plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got kicked because they were following Messi's lead.
Slacking on training.
Yeah. Whereas like Ronaldo is just like...
He plays with his team.
No, but he's also really diligent about working out and maximizing effort.
Well, he understands that he is a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Messi is also in his retirement era.
Wow.
He's
but even before, dude, was like one of the quote unquote laziest players.
Yeah.
In the practice facility.
So in the past, I would say in the past like 5-ish years, he had completely transformed because he knew that his time with soccer was coming up. And
no, dude.
And his time in the in the World Cup circa was coming up. He had one World Cup left before he was out of the national team.
But
he won the World Cup. He has all of his accolades.
You know how long ago that was, yeah?
That he won that literally like a year and a couple months ago.
Yeah, you said around 5 years ago he started easing off the gas pedal. No, it's like World Cup wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, because he wasn't going to be in the national team.
He was.
No, I'm pretty certain.
When he won in Qatar?
Prior to that, he said he wasn't going to play for national. There was a period of time where he was like, nah.
Yeah, but he won. I know, but he won the La Liga. Like, he won a bunch of awards during that period.
Yeah, he was still just with Barcelona for the club.
Yeah, no, but he was.
They always fucking win. They clean up.
Yeah.
So that league for him was just kind of like fucking whatever. He was just playing. There was no real pressure until he knew he was back.
He was
in
at the
Argentina.
top of that game. No, but I'm saying he's like he was still playing really well.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
He was even playing well into his before he transferred to Inter Miami. He wasn't playing at his prime, but he was definitely still playing well.
Yeah. He will never not play well.
And then Inter Miami, he was just I'm showing up, and you guys won. We won the championship.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What is it? The ALS? No.
MLS.
MLS.
Major League Soccer.
That's, yeah.
I did closed captioning for them.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, I did closed captioning for KDOC TV.
That's dope.
When I was at Mount Sac. And I did hockey games, Ducks games.
Sick, dude.
And I did arena soccer games.
Fun.
Every once in a while, some poker games.
Well, this was circa what?
2010, 11, somewhere around there. 12, 13, somewhere around there.
That's when you were in college?
Yeah, when I was at Mount Sac.
How many colleges have you gone to?
Including just college courses or like attended. Yeah, there in Cal, UC Berkeley. Yeah, because I didn't graduate from college, or I didn't graduate from high school.
I remember that part.
Yeah,
remember that part. That was me sneaking my way into figuring out your general age.
Yeah. Doesn't give away much actually.
Gives away enough to narrow it down to what I already knew. So
late 20s, early 30s. Yeah, it's late 20s, early 30s. Maybe. I could theoretically also be late 30s, early 40s as well.
You could.
Yeah, because there's some of my classmates at Mount Sac when I was there are currently there around that age right now. Yeah, so I'm anywhere between 27 and 42, give or take.
Wild.
Yeah.
I would give you any one of those numbers.
You shouldn't.
I know.
I don't look that old.
Nah. I mean, if you like genuinely looked at me and you were like, dude, I'm actually 43, I'd be like, that's fucking
42.
wild.
Yeah. Actually, one of my friends is wild. I fucking realized was like, you're 40. It's like, holy shit. In my mind, you're still like 31. Yeah.
It's true. I look at my friends and we're all getting older, and I'm like, I don't know. I still see us like if we're in high school.
Yeah.
This is all the high school homies.
Well, I don't know anyone from high school. Like a lot of my, actually most of my social networks kind of chop off at different. It's always
points,
I don't have like a past,
Mm.
except for my friends from Mount Sac. I'm actually not connected with anybody. Not connected with anybody from Cal. Nobody from before that. Even like definitely nobody from high school, middle school, elementary. Yeah, there's no like it's all yeah. It's Mount Sac folks are the only people that I'm in contact with.
Interesting.
Yeah, very odd.
So back to MLS, because I was gonna say MLS is like the retirement league for soccer.
Yeah.
The
Well, I mean,
stars
there's
come to
and there's
retire.
definitely so many people that have done it too,
Mhm.
which makes it even worse.
Started with Beckham.
Yeah, it's
That was the beginning.
yeah, and then it was Zaza or Zlatan.
Yeah.
Zlatan.
Like, it's cool for the American people, I guess, because you get to see superstars where they're in a very low pressure environment, so they just have some great moments. So
but
like
it's
cool,
even worse when they perform well.
Yeah.
Because Beckham won with the Galaxy. So did
Yeah.
Zlatan.
Yeah.
Messi came and he won.
He's
And it
winning.
just makes it feel even more of a lower class league.
Yeah.
Which the interesting thing though is that Beckham and Zlatan were still they were the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but like perceptually, it just makes American like Major League Soccer look
That's true.
so amateur.
At a glance, yes, but you just pointed something out. They were the best of the best. The guys that are retiring
And
and
they're
coming
still-
over to play are the best of the best, and
Yeah.
those are the ones that are winning.
Yeah.
And they are still, if not close, if not at
Their
their
talent,
peak, close
their
to.
talent level is still insane.
Yes, they've
Their
known
knowledge
the
of
game.
it's not like they became dumb
Mm-mm.
soccer players.
Mm-mm.
You know, or
They
football
know
players.
the game even better.
Yeah, they have a lot of knowledge, and on top of that, they're generational talents,
Mm-hmm.
which is why it's so wild. But it doesn't look good.
Mm-mm.
Makes Major League Soccer really feel like
Yeah. Well, it
a third tier league.
it shows how non-physical U.S. soccer is. Because I feel like that's the main difference when you look at MLS compared to other leagues.
No,
is the physicality
no,
of
but
it.
it's
'Cause they
also-
don't play as hard.
It's not just that though. It's if you're a good football coach,
Mm-hmm.
you're not coaching in MLS.
Nah,
If
you're
you're
overseas.
a world-class talent,
You're
not
here.
in MLS,
Mm-mm.
right? So it's not just that the American soccer game is less physical.
Mm-hmm.
It's more that
The talent pool.
it's top to bottom. It's coaching.
Mm-hmm.
It's the training. It's the institutional knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Mhm.
there's just a larger and larger gap. And it
Makes
doesn't
sense.
even have anything to do with money. But also, I mean, our
No.
homegrown talent is also like the thing with football is that it's a religion in Texas.
Yep, like Alabama and Mississippi.
Yeah,
pretty
but I mean
sure.
the number one state for football players
Texas?
is
Sick.
number one place. By the way, if you had to guess, number one place that baseball players are from.
Ooh. I don't know. I'm getting Midwest vibes for some reason. New York. No, where?
Worst places. That's none of the worst.
Really?
You know why?
Why?
Because they have winter.
That makes a lot of sense.
You need to for baseball. You need to play.
Ooh, Miami and California then.
It's just California.
Just California.
Yeah.
Got it. San Diego? Or just California in
all
general?
of California. Yeah, I mean you got modern day. Cal State Fullerton is one of the best baseball schools in the country.
No shit.
Yeah,
No shit.
yeah,
I think my buddy went there.
yeah.
He was a catcher. I don't know if he played in college.
Yeah, it's
but
literally
okay.
one of the best in the country when it comes to
Sure.
baseball.
Interesting. I heard what was fucking Long Beach State.
Yep.
Also, was
Mhm.
it the Dirtbags?
Yeah,
They're also supposed
yeah.
to be real good.
But it's-
Interesting. That
it's-
makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's always sunny. You
the
can
vast
always play.
majority of most sports come from
Makes a
Texas
lot
and
of sense.
California.
Makes sense.
But
Makes
that's the thing
sense.
with soccer is that like there's no hotbed. Yeah.
No, it's everywhere.
Yeah, there aren't great American players. Yeah.
There's not been a single American player.
But there's
to go
only
down
so
in
many
history.
things that you can have, like, you can focus your attention on. And it's basketball and football in the States. And that's really enough, to be honest.
Would you say that baseball kind of dropped off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the thing though,
Mm-hmm.
is that baseball will always reign supreme, quote unquote.
This is the American pastime.
No, well it's not a sport, it's a pastime. No, because you get paid the most. Baseball has the best contracts.
Interesting.
In all professional sports in the United States.
So you could assume that baseball makes the most revenue.
It does. No, it's not just that. It's that the collective bargaining agreement from baseball players is really high.
Interesting.
And the other element of it is that baseball, every ball player, every professional sports player would, if they could play baseball, at a world-class level, would play baseball. Like, why would you not? Least physical wear and tear.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a football player that could play basketball, every football player would pick basketball.
Yeah.
If they could play at the highest level. You have way less injuries, way less contact, air-conditioned facilities, right? You play in an air-conditioned place. Yeah. Like, it's just way better.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and that's the thing with baseball. Is they have the best contracts,
sense.
and it's all guaranteed. The issue, though, is that because despite like the amount of money that you get from baseball, you get gutted the worst on your contracts, on flexibility. It's like when you get signed, like the team owns you. And then they do a lot of contract.
If they've got press conferences and bullshit, like you're
not even just that. If you hate the team, hate your boss, hate everything, right?
Okay.
They own you.
Yeah.
And like, they won't let. It takes you a lot longer. Baseball is a bigger crapshoot because until you get to the majors, you don't get anything.
Yeah.
You make very little, and getting the majors is really fucking hard. And then when you get to the majors, like, having a 30-year-old rookie is normal in baseball. Because you get drafted out of high school, but you go through the minors. And there's single A, double A, triple A, right? And you have to go through all of these, and each of those, as you climb through the ranks, right? There's A minus ball and like et cetera, et cetera.
So in baseball, you don't get drafted out of college straight into pro league.
You get drafted to the minors.
I see. That's fucked.
And the vast majority of them, a lot of them go to college. They get drafted out of high school.
Interesting.
And
so
if
you go to college, is it less of an opportunity if you?
No, you still got drafted. You go to college.
Okay.
Mahomes was drafted.
Okay.
In baseball. Russell Wilson drafted in baseball.
Okay.
Yeah. If they went back to baseball, the team that drafted them would have their rights, right? But both of them were way better football players. Football also there's advantages to football, especially if you're a quarterback.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks are the exception in football. Quarterbacks actually get paid the most.
Yes.
Out of all the pro sports. So if you be a NFL quarterback, it's amazing.
It's also one of the harder positions to play.
Oh yeah,
all
for sure.
Sports.
Yeah, but yeah, baseball you get drafted in high school, and then you're just part of their draft team, and then you could play in college. Yeah.
Interesting.
You play in college, and then there's also like 11 rounds in baseball.
Okay.
They draft everybody and anybody.
This shit is
But the issue, I mean, Deion Sanders said this, right? Deion Sanders played both, right?
Okay.
And he's like, one thing I couldn't really do was hitting that ball is really hard. Hardest thing in sports is hitting a fastball.
Yeah.
Hardest thing in sports is hitting a fastball.
It's fucking it's hard.
Baseball is the one sport where being successful a third of the time is an insanely good average.
Mm-hmm.
Like 330 batting average is like not bad. If you bat 450, which means 45% of the time you hit the ball, right?
Mm-hmm. It doesn't even mean
that's
it's good.
That's an insanely good. Yeah.
Batting average.
Yeah. And Deion Sanders is like, I couldn't play baseball. I couldn't hit the ball.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing in sports.
Mm-hmm. Reminds me of the movie Moneyball.
The ball is faster than your reaction speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So one of my buddies that has played baseball professionally actually was telling me that most batters that are really good have learned to read the arm.
Oh, yeah.
The angle and the position.
And the hand.
To figure out and determine what type of pitch or where the ball is going to be coming through the strike zone.
Yeah.
And they start their swing even before they see it, because what they can adjust, is the wrist. So when they come in here, they can tweak it down or up. It's very interesting.
Oh. But that's a very small number of people that can actually do it.
It's hard.
Yeah.
You're swinging with a lot of force.
And so, but baseball is by far it's the easiest sport in some ways because it's not as taxing.
Yeah, the least physically demanding.
Yeah, unless you're a pitcher.
Just a lot of repetition on one limb.
Well, it's so much pressure, like
elbow and shoulder.
Yeah. They're tearing ligaments.
Oh yeah, I had a buddy
every time they pitch.
Shredded his shoulder in high school pitching.
Yeah. But they get paid the big bucks too.
Yep.
Wow.
If you don't shred your shoulder.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani is.
Bro.
Wow. Close to $1 billion.
Let's go Dodgers.
With a B.
I know.
He's worth it too, to be honest.
He's one of the top fucking players.
He's the highest paid player in the world. Yeah. 600 million, 700 million.
Yeah.
Contract.
Well deserved.
That's undervalued, ironically. He's worth more.
Hey.
Yeah.
Corporate America, man.
No, but like just his actual dollar by dollar impact. But that's the crazy thing is that baseball players have so many games that
bro,
it's a really interesting business model.
Concessions, sales, fucking
but also the TV rights. Interesting. For all of their games.
I never
but
thought
it's
about
like
that.
The seats. Have you ever been to a baseball game recently?
Yeah.
Most seats are empty.
Not recently.
Yeah, but just like outside of postseason, like a regular season game.
Back in the day, yes, I went to like 3 games. It was not packed. No.
Yeah, most seats are empty.
I would say maybe like 75% capacity.
And the difference though is that it's Dodgers, right? Dodgers and Angels.
Very popular teams.
But it's also in California, which are like we have a lot of people. We got places like the Rockies that like
very little people
don't show up.
Yeah,
which is really interesting. But despite that, they still generate so much money because TV deals, operational costs are typically set, and then they rent them out, of course, throughout the season, throughout the off season, for stadium, this, that,
shows,
and conventions, etc. It's like, but it's not like people are watching. But TV networks really need baseball games because they need something to justify their time, like the hours on a TV slot.
I see.
Professional sports is the only thing right now that's keeping TV networks alive.
How interesting.
Yeah. Super fascinating stuff. Anyways, call it here.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good episode.
Oh, 100%. We'll leave it with don't get wrapped into TV and streaming too much.
Yeah.
Don't let them control you. Thanks for coming on, man.
Of course, man.
We'll do it again.